Welcome to Islington Mill is Queer. Islington Mill is Queer is a podcast series dedicated to exploring and documenting the queer history of one of the north of England's most beloved art institutions, Salford's Islington Mill. This month's episode of Islington Mill is Queer is going to be a bit different. It's an unusual episode that wasn't planned by me, and it springs from the fact that this month, December, we've had some very sad news in the Islington Mill and general Manchester and Salford artistic community. One of the largest figures to, I'm just going to say it, to ever inhabit the Manchester, Salford and Islington Mill art communities has passed away, unfortunately, at the start of this month. I am, of course, talking about the legendary musician, visual artist, poet and performer Louise Woodcock. Louise was a central figure at Islington Mill, and she was known and beloved by many people. In fact, I would go so far as to say that Louise was, in her own very special way, like a totem figure of the rebellious, liminal, experimental, artistic, free, creative, queer spirit of Islington Mill. Never mind seeing Louise coming from a mile away, which you undoubtedly would because of her very colourful clothes and the different colours that she always dyed her hair. You'd hear her as well with her exclamations like, "Stop it," and "Deal with it," and of course the legendary bequeath. Her passing has come as quite a shock, and in many ways it's still quite hard to believe that she's not going to burst through the main doors of Islington Mill at some point in the near future screaming, "Hello!" To me, it just wouldn't feel right to do another episode of Islington Mill is Queer without paying some kind of tribute to our Cockney beauty and her amazing, incredible body of work. Her amazing body as well, but her amazing body of work, and in particular, the character Trish Dee. This podcast is in no way intended to be a definitive look at the life and works of Louise Woodcock. It's much more just something that I wanted to put together to celebrate the passing of my close friend. And from what I have been told, there is going to be a Louise Woodcock archive at some point in Islington Mill where her collected works will be stored and available to the public. And I think there's a lot of people who will have a lot of things to contribute to that, which I'm greatly looking forward to. But for today's podcast, I'm just going to keep it simple and I'm going to focus on Trish Dee. An incredibly funny person, Louise had the capacity to make practically anybody laugh. And in about 2015, she decided to channel that energy into creating a comic character called Trish Dee. Trish Dee was an ex-Page 3 stunner who was also part of a popular 90s girl group pop band called the It Girls, best known for their one-hit wonder Lollipop Lady. And so, for this podcast, I have decided to compile 3 of Trish Dee's greatest performances, which are all taken, the audio is all taken from the Trish Dee YouTube channel, where you can find the video clips that these performances are taken from. The first is an interview with Sick Chops TV host Johnny Rash, which I believe was the first Trish Dee public appearance. The second clip is an interview that Trish did at Manchester Art Gallery, which went on to be quite controversial in its way. And the final performance is a stand-up routine that Trish, aka Louise, did in support of the Fall in Leeds. Although Louise was born and raised in Hackney in East London, she moved to Manchester to study art at the turn of this century, and despite living here for over 20 years, she never lost her delicious Cockney brogue. And so, here are 3 of Trish Dee, aka Louise Woodcock's finest performances from the past 5-6 years as a tribute to our friend who sadly has passed away. Louise, we will always love you, and Trish will always remain.
Okay, so you're here with Johnny Ross on Sick Chops TV. Today I'm interviewing ex-pastry stunner We all had her on our bedroom walls as teenagers, lads. Come on, we all know who Trish Dee is. We've all, you know. On your Pave Street debut, there was actually, and I remember this very well, there was a countdown, wasn't there? No, we'll just take 5.
You know, Uncle Jimmy come down to school, and all the other girls would get jealous, really, because they all wanted to take my photo. She was a bit jealous, really, to be honest. There were times they were like, Trish, we're never going to show anyone these photos. One day, my bare bits and bobs were actually on page 1 of the Sun. I know I started in the children's homes, but I was rescued. And I did have to give her a slap, really, to be honest.
We all want to know about the It Girls.
I suppose, you know, we had such a lovely time. And I'm sure you've all heard about the shows. Kinky, all dressed up in her little bits of leather with her little cat o' nine tails, whipping the audience. And we had honey. She used to carry about like a little Winnie the Pooh thing, like a little jar of honey. And she used to pour it on the crowd sometimes and lick it off and everything. You know, she was always a bit like, oh, it's, you know, it's all about me, you know. Yeah, of course, it was like the 5 years and under, the same as like the Spice Girls were. And look at what Madonna did. She had all the kids after her.
And you say that men are scared of women in flat shoes.
Well, actually, I have read that is a scientific fact. You love your kids, whatever.
Your ex has said some very nasty things about you.
To put a story out that, like, he's done his business on me, he's mixed race, and I just think, you know, they can be a little bit confused sometimes. Just me, really. You know, I don't need to play up to anything.
Sounds like your enterprises. You're quite the entrepreneur.
One of my favourite businesses I've got is my laser hair removal treatment therapy salons. Hair today, gone tomorrow. And she could have done it, really, but she won't get a boob job. We go all the way up to the most expensive is fetal. Of course, we get all the ladies in there because nobody wants real hair. You know, nowadays you've got to get your vag done, and now we actually get like proper men in there. You know, some ladies say to me, "Oh, you know, Trish, it's a little bit like having sex with a dolphin, having sex with my boyfriend now." But I say to them, "Who doesn't like dolphins?" So we've got special solutions that get rid of any burning or scarring or anything.
Is she an intellectual?
She thinks she is. And what we've got is these tiny little staples that go right inside. I said to her, you know, people who go to university, they just end up working at McDonald's, Chardonnay.
Has that been approved? Is that
it's been tested on animals. You know, got little rats with little eyelashes. You know, everything. It's all been done properly. Monkeys, everything.
Good. So I think that wraps us up. Is there anything more you want to say?
If you want to hear more of what I've got to say and you want a few tips about how to get a little bit of success in life, especially for the ladies, because that's what it's all about, then get my book.
There we go, Trish Dee.
Heavenly Father, take away my shame. No pain, no guilt. No pain, no gain. No shame, no pain. No pain, no guilt. You're lying under my quilt. Baby, come and hold me. Centerfold me. Put me in your pocket. You go up like a rocket. Take me home for later. You can use my vibrator. Baby, come and knock it and I see you in my stockings. Me and you remember. We got it not to remember. Come on, baby, have a pillow fight, yeah. Holding me down with all of your might. No pain, no gain. No shame, no pain. No pain, no guilt. I'm lying under your quilt.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you here to the gallery tonight. Our guest this evening is a female who's attracted much attention and controversy over the years. She sparked much debate and had many admirers. Her career began as a Page Street glamour model, which skyrocketed her image into the public eye. And since then, she went on to become part of the #1 group, the It Girls, with the worldwide hit, I Want to Be Your Puppy.
Yeah.
We're here today to welcome Miss Trish Dee and to find out more about her love life, her much publicised affairs, and how she's turned her hand to business and become a self-made entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Trish Dee.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Oh, can I just say what an honour it is to be asked to this event by these lovely artists. What is she wearing? I mean, it was so me anyway, because I'm always saying that to my girls. Oh, what is she wearing? So it's perfect for me.
It's lovely to have you here in Manchester. Is this your first time up north at Manchester Art Gallery?
No, it's not. I spent quite a lot of time here in the 90s. I must say it's gone a lot more upmarket nowadays. It's not quite as rough as it used to be, even though we still are up north, of course. Yeah, I mean, what I would say as well is I'm used to the bigger galleries, the big proper ones, the ones that are in London, like that massive one that's on the Thames. This is only a little tiny one compared to that, but, I still feel at home,
Yeah, this is probably the biggest one here, but it's really a delight to have you here. So you like art and culture, you must know some of the great artists here in this room. Do you have any favourite paintings?
I do like that one with all them little girls in the pond. That reminds me of my time in the It Girls. Chasing that man, dragging him in there. Just like what we were like back in the day.
So I guess some of these paintings also remind you of you and your glamour modelling career, which we're going to talk about later on. Have you been to anywhere else in Manchester? Do you plan to go and see the new Arts and Cultural Hub Home?
Home? Is that place by Pizza Express?
That's the one, yeah.
Is that not where they put all them homeless people that are all hanging about?
No, it's definitely the one that has the art in it.
Oh, right, I didn't know. I thought they were just being nice and putting all them homeless people. They do make the place look untidy though, don't they? I thought they put them somewhere.
So how important is it for you to look good?
Well, like I was saying, Kat, my main passion is beauty. So being in the Pursuit of Beauty room was actually ideal, perfect for me. And I would say it's probably a priority. I mean, I know they say beauty's on the inside, but really, nowadays, I know, and I don't argue with that, but I do think nowadays you've really got to keep up with things. You've got all your Photoshop and your CGI stuff, so you've got to enhance yourself as much as you possibly can, just to keep up, really.
What did you think of the death of Page 3 then, and the No More Page 3 campaign?
Well, I thought that was quite sad, really. When I was in it, all the girls were really, really well looked after. They all wanted to do it, And what are all them boys going to do now on their lunch breaks? You know what I mean? It was all over the House of Commons. So again, you've messed their day up. You've got all them builders, really are grafters, and I just don't see what the problem is.
You evolved through time, moving on from glamour modelling. You then moved into having a very successful music career. We mentioned earlier on about your hit, I Want to Be Your Puppy. How was it being part of that worldwide pop sensation?
Well, I mean, the It Girls, it was crazy times, really. And it was before the Spice Girls, even though Jerry Halliwell is older than me. Can I just say that on camera? Basically, and she did get everything from me as well, including the bubbly personality and all the, bits and bobs. At the end of the day, God bless her. I wouldn't say a bad word about Jerry, of course not. But yeah, the It Girls, I mean, it was crazy. We were wild, really. I'm sure you've heard about the gigs. We had Honey dressed up like a little Pooh Bear with a little tail, and a little jar of honey she used to pour on the audience and lick it off. It was crazy. We had Kinky with a little pink bondage gear on, because it was for the kids, so it was pink, kept it pink. And she used to go around whipping the audience, and they were screaming their heads off. It was hilarious.
The bands, you were together for quite some time, and then you started to hit the headlines for Spiraling Out of Control. There were spats between you. Do you want to just kind of tell us a bit more about what happened there? Because a few of them don't really want to talk about it, and where are they?
Well, what I would say really is our producer, Danny Quick, he actually did invent quick step music that was like dubstep, but it was a lot quicker, so it was a lot more commercial.
Could you offer any advice to other single mums out there?
Well, if you're not as talented like what I am, you might want to try and get yourself a rich fella, and there's quite a few ways you can do that. Does take a little bit of investment. I'd probably say if you've got good credit, get yourself a little credit card. Get yourself some expensive clothes, not the knockoff ones, because people can tell in expensive places. Don't go down Wetherspoons. Make sure you go in the more classy bars, because you're not going to meet your Prince Charming in there, to be honest with you. And yeah, just if you've got scraggly hair, get yourself a bit of hair extensions, get yourself on the sunbed, and if you can afford it, probably get a little boob job.
Okay, all right, and you do go into more detail about beauty advice and fashion advice and relationship advice in your book, Hard to Swallow, which is just out, and we are going to have some book signing opportunities at some point as well. But we're going to talk about that now. You then evolved and you became a self-made businesswoman. You have a number of businesses, Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow, pioneering hair removal treatment, and the book. So the book itself has actually come under a bit of criticism as well. Do you want to just tell us, why do you think you're a good person to give advice?
Well, I think, I've been to the University of Life, I really have been through it. I've learnt a lot. And I must say about my laser hair removal therapy treatment service, Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow, we do get a lot of ladies in there. We get all the ladies. We do get some gays. We get a few gays in there. And we do actually get proper men in there now. It's taken off with them as well. And to be honest though, some of the girlfriends are not that happy with it. A few of them have said to me, Trish, it's like having sex with a dolphin now, having sex with my boyfriend. And what I say to them though is, who don't like dolphins?
You mentioned earlier on that you do the hair removal, but you've also launched a few new other things which were inspired by the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, we've got a new service now. Again, they've said this is controversial, but it is purely natural. There is no chemicals involved. It is very expensive, but look at the Kardashians. Do you know what I mean? If you want that sort of look, you've got to pay top dollar. And basically, what it involves, we've done it all. We've tested it all the animals been tested on, everything. Monkeys, all the rest of it, all of them. No expense spared. And basically, it is the blood of fetuses who are not going to make it. But, at the end of the day, it works wonders for your skin. And like I say, the Kardashians are all over it and have been for a very, very long time.
Okay, I'm not sure that'll be for everyone, but you've put it out there.
Well, it is expensive.
Do you think things have changed over the decades for women? Do you think they've improved?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, yeah. They can go to university and you can do all that now, but what I say to my Mercedes is, babe, they all end up working at McDonald's though, don't they, really? So you've got to put your looks quite high up on that little agenda of yours, really, because there's only so far you can go with it, really.
Okay, so what's next for Trish?
Well, I have got a line of perfumes coming out called Inspiration, because a lot of women do say, Trish, you are an inspiration to me. It's not my words, it's the general public who I do love and I do appreciate. So why not bring a perfume out called that? And it's going to be all top quality, again, tested on every animal you can imagine, so you're all going to be safe, and it's all very natural. That's working with top designers. I'm not allowed to say which people I'm working with yet, but it will all come out soon.
Okay, well, I look forward to hearing more about it. It's been interesting and a revelation, and thank you very much for coming up north to Manchester Art Gallery. A big round of applause, everyone, for Trish Dee.
Thank you, Pat.
So we're actually going to have some questions now, so this is your chance if you have any burning questions for Miss Trish Dee, and you can also get your autograph. Her personal assistant is here
Emma, my PA's there with the mic if anybody wants to ask me
Any
anything.
questions there, Tom?
Anyone wants some advice, really, because I can see that a few people might be a bit desperate.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you what kind of example you think you're setting to young women with catchphrases like "slut up" or "shut up." How is that supporting women's voices in the 21st century, Trish?
Well, what I would say to that is, again, I am actually a realist, you know. A lot of people don't like to admit these kind of things, but, you know, I feel like I'm here to help. I am a voice of reason when there's a lot of confusion in the world. I'm sorry, that's the way I see it. You know, you're entitled to your opinion and I'm entitled to mine.
I just wondered if you have any advice for maybe lesbian women or women who don't want to catch an old man.
Well, what I would say about lesbians is I think that, you know, I think we're all a bit of a lesbian in our own way, which, you know, I'm quite open to that, but I do think sometimes, you know, if you want to sort of raise your stakes a bit, you know, you don't want to be just left there on the shelf if you get to, you know, 30 and you think, oh, I wouldn't mind, you know. Yeah, at the end of the day as well, men have got more money, so you're in trouble really, you know, and you don't want to leave it too late is what I say. You know, leave that option open.
Okay, another round of applause then, please. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Trish Dee, thank you.
Thank you. I will be taking autographs later. Thank you.
We love you, Trish!
Hello, Liz! Lovely to be here up north again. And can I say it's beautiful that, you know, you're trying to judge the place up a little bit. You know, of course it's still up north, but you are trying. Nice you're getting rid of them horrible old markets now, isn't it? You know, you can't have all, you know, them lumpy old ladies carrying big bags of spuds about on a Saturday afternoon nowadays, can you really? It's not really the thing, is it? So, you know, God bless them. But, yeah, it's better. Let's upgrade, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd like to say thank you to the Fall for inviting me here. And, yeah, you know, me and Mark do go way back. You know, he's helped me out of a few little holes now and again. He has. I mean, he could have dug a little bit deeper. Not in that way, all right? I mean, I know he's on a budget, but come on, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, really, I'm here to talk about my book, which is called Hard to Swallow. No, nothing like that, all right? Trish truths are hard to swallow, that's what I said to the publisher. And yeah, she tried to advise me against it, but I said no, filthy people, we don't need to worry about them. So yeah, I mean, the main thing that everyone wants to know, because of course I've had loads in the tabloids about me, loads of lies, and especially them Guardian journalists. But you know, who are they to criticise really? Because, I mean, have you seen the state of them, generally? Yeah, I mean, really, my time in the It Girls, that's the thing that everyone wants to hear about. And we were before the Spice Girls. And really, Jerry Halliwell did get everything from me, including the bubbly personality, and the bits and bobs, and even the red hair at the time, to be honest with you. But she is like a sister to me, so I will not say a bad word about Jerry, she really is. I know, well, excuse me, darling, Vanessa, I know she gets a lot of inspiration from me, but, you know, she does say it all the time, thank you. But yeah, basically, back in the day, I'm sure you heard about our gigs. Oh, and can I say on the record, Jerry Halliwell is actually older than me, so there we go. So back in the day, the gigs, yeah, they were as mad as everyone said. We had Honey, who had a little jar of honey. She used to pour on the audience and lick it off. It was mental. We had Kinky, who had a little cat o' nine tails. She'd go whipping the audience, they'll be screaming their heads off. It was absolutely hilarious. And some people were like, oh, do you not think that's a bit of a young crowd, you know, like 7-year-olds? I was like, well, you know, it's all in pink, all the bondage gear, do you know what I mean? It's for the kids. And little teddy bear ears on and that, like, do you know what I mean? And like, look at Madonna. No one says anything to her, and all them sex videos and all them lesbians and everything. I don't know what's up really, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, the truth is, the reason we split up in the end was because I met Danny. And a lot of people are asking actually, basically, what happened to him now? Kinky did end up in films. I said to her, she went to LA, bless her, she didn't quite make it to Hollywood, but I said, don't go hardcore straight away, darling, because you will ruin your backside. But she didn't listen, the money was too good, but never mind. And yeah, Bunny, I mean, God bless her, but she wasn't very talented. You know, not to say a bad word about her. I mean, she wasn't even very good at, you know what I mean? But she's ended up with a rich fella. She said she's very happy now. And I heard he has got a little doggy tipper. And yeah, I mean, it is true as well. Me and Danny, who invented Quick Step, and that wasn't foxtrot thing, that wasn't some sort of ballroom dancing. He invented a thing that was like dubstep, but a lot quicker, so it was a lot more commercial. And he made an absolute fortune. But he decided basically, well, we were living it up, you know, we had all the coke and all the champagne and all that, and he did end up on the crack, sadly, but everyone said, he's dad's Jamaican, really, what did you expect, Trish? But I didn't listen, never mind. So yeah, my childhood, I mean, there's been loads speculating about that. I did start off right in the gutter. I know you started off there, darling, but, you know, there's a chance that, you know, Trish could help you raise yourself out of there a little tiny bit, if you just listened a little bit, do you know what I mean? Not everyone has to stay in the gutter just because you come from there. I'm living proof of that, alright? So, amen, thank you. So, I was lucky enough, I mean, who can say hand on heart that they've been touched by royalty? I have to say, Uncle Jimmy, God rest his soul, Sir Jimmy, I know I'm not supposed to talk about him, but he did rescue me from that children's home.
Welcome to
I won't have a
Leeds!
word said against him. And do you know what? I can understand he's upset a few people, but what about the dead ones?
Who the fuck
Do you know what I mean? I don't even get it. Who was he upsetting there, really? I don't know. People can be really negative, can't they, sometimes? But yeah, also now I've reinvented myself. I'm now an entrepreneur, not just an authorer. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got a laser hair removal therapy treatment service that even all you proper men might do with now, because it is getting popular with you. Not just all the trans and the gays and the ladies. So some of you, even though a lot of you are bald already, you probably don't need some. Sorry, no offence, you know what I mean? You might want a bit of extras. Yeah, basically, you might want to get rid of the rest of it, but I have had a few complaints from girlfriends. It's like having sex with a dolphin now, having sex with my boyfriend. But what I always say is, who don't like dolphins? At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? People are really judgmental, can't they? So, you know, not me, of course. But I have had a little bit, I've had ups and downs, I've had addiction problems, and I did have a little bit of a wobble a while ago. And my swagger coach, Brittany got me onto my swagger coach. My swagger coach advised me to get a spiritual advisor, because she was like, Trish, you're in trouble here. So she sent me off to this little retreat. It was a bit weird, but I have been to yoga a few times, so I wasn't too freaked out. And everyone was drinking this stuff. I think it begins with ayahuasca or something, ayahuasca. And so we had a little drink of that. And yeah, it made me go all mad and think about all weird stuff. Like, I thought, maybe you don't need all them Prada, them Dolce & Gabbana. Maybe you don't need that massive sofa. That probably costs much more than you earn in about 3 years, darling. Maybe you don't need that massive telly. Maybe you don't need all that, Trish. But then I thought,
Give it to her.
yeah, I do, actually. I do. So yeah, I don't mind. I'll have to just leave. I'll leave them all in the gutter. Some people can't be helped, darling, you know. And usually I'm here for the ladies, but I mean, what sort of lady listens to music like that, really? Do you know what I mean?
It's the cock fest tonight, Trish.
I know. There's a lot of repressed homosexuality here. I can feel it. I can feel it oozing out. They want their little boyfriend to come out, don't they? And I'll let them have him. It's cute. It's very cute. Night.
Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Lollipop lady, play it safe now, baby. Lollipop lady, remember road safety. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Hanging round the playground walls, I wanna lick 'em all. Take my hand when the lights turn green, I just wanna hear you scream. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Lollipop lady, remember road safety. Lollipop lady, play it safe now, baby. Lollipop lady, remember road safety. Cross me once and feel my vibe. Cross me twice, now that ain't nice. Don't you know I'm the princess of pop? Stop when you see my lollipop. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Lollipop lady, remember road safety. Lollipop lady, play it safe now, baby. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Paradise Island in the middle of the road, I'll be your lollipop lady to have and to hold. At 9 o'clock and at 3:30, we can go and get out of our tree. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Lollipop lady, remember road safety. Lollipop lady, play safe now, baby. Lollipop lady, the cars drive me crazy. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? Check out my speed bumps as we drive along. Practice safety with the green cross code. At 9 and at 3:30, I can't wait you to go home with me. Lollipop lady, I'm your lollipop lady. Yeah.